Vanakkam Chennai, you are watching NDTV and we are at Elliott's Beach in Chennai having some coffee and sharing some electoral gossip with our friends. Amitabh Tiwari from Delhi has joined me. Sumanth, Raman, you all know, very familiar face on Indian television, and D. Suresh Kumar, senior journalist with The Hindu, and my colleague Sam Daniel. So I should start with one very basic question. Everyone starts with Mr. Modi. I want to start with Annamalai. Why suddenly he's being so talked about, Sumanth?
I think one of the things that's happened is that when he emerged, was seen as a different face. You know, educated and a former police officer, IIM, and all that. And he was aggressively taking on the Dravidian parties, particularly the DMK. So when he came onto the scene, he did seem like a breath of fresh air. But as things went on, particularly in the last 8-9 months, it's really unraveled quite spectacularly. The BJP still hopes he will do something special in the election, but from all accounts, that does not seem to be happening. So I think the curiosity factor, you know, in the first 1 year, and he's hardly, now he's 39. So when he was actually made the state BJP president, he was not even 38. So at that point, there was a lot of interest. But I think the way he's gone about things, I think a lot of it has dissipated.
Do you agree with that?
See, one thing I would say is that why are we talking about Annamalai is because, he is the one who has set up this anti-DMK narrative in Tamil Nadu. And that was aided by the lack of response by the ADMK leader, Edappadi Palnisamy. Because for about, 1.5 years after the 2021 elections, Edappadi Palnisamy was preoccupied with his own party's internal thing. You know, he wanted to take over the leadership and then he was occupied with that. And largely he confined himself to his native town, Salem, instead of being in Chennai or traveling across the district. So that gave Annamalai a space. In terms of optics, I must say that Annamalai has positioned himself well as an opposition to the DMK. But on the ground, for any political party to succeed, you will need booth-level committees, you will need a great organizational, well-oiled machinery, which the DMK and the ADMK have. But today, Annamalai, I must say that irrespective of the BJP not having that sort of a well-oiled machinery across Tamil Nadu, he has been identified beyond the party today. Today here, it's not Modi or it's not the BJP, which is as popular as Annamalai. He does appeal to a section of the urban first-time voters. You cannot deny that space to him. But at the same time, he has not been very consistent in his opinions. At one point, he says that the first thing the BJP will do if it comes to power in Tamil Nadu, is that the HRNC department, the Hindu religious department, will be abolished. On the other hand, he appreciates the Kamaraj government for appointing a Dalit as a HRNC minister. So he's not consistent in his views. At one point, he praises Karnataka. At another point, he criticizes. And he has definitely rubbed the ADMK on the wrong side, which led to the collapse of the alliance. So he has been both a positive and a negative character.
Okay. So many a times, Amitabh, we focus a lot on the local organization, booth level committees and all that. But Mr. Modi's arrival in last 2 months, 7 or 8 trips, in last 10 years, many more other trips. You can start from Xi Jinping being welcomed by Mr. Modi in Tamil Nadu and many other activities. The kind of narrative he is building, many say, is very different from the past BJP or RSS leadership did here. They were talking about Hindi, Hindutva, etc. Mr. Modi is talking about Tamil being the most ancient language. He is talking about Tamil antiquity. This communication is far powerful than the normal political messaging. Maybe he has made some connection with large number of households in Tamil Nadu, and that will show some surprises to us. Do you agree?
Yeah, essentially, Prime Minister Modi in 2019, if we see, there was a go back Modi campaign whenever he used to arrive. So this time it's not there. So he has come back strongly after that. And he is a very practical politician, astute politician. So he understood that Hindi and Hindutva is not going to work here. That's why he's talking about the Kashi Tamil Samagam. That's why he's talking about the ancient Tamil language, how is it fairly ancient, and how Tamil Nadu has a fairly rich cultural heritage and history. Now, if we come to elections, there is of course a Modi factor, as we all know. This factor fetched BJP roughly 25-30% extra votes in north, west and eastern zones. Will that be that powerful in Tamil Nadu? that we'll have to see as we progress down the line. However, there is a big swing vote in Tamil Nadu. So around 20% plus fluctuates between AIADMK and DMK in the past two elections, which means that that is not a hardcore ideological vote of these two parties. And that is the vote which BJP is targeting. And with the popularity of Annamalai, at least among the first-time voters, or let's say the buzz which he has created amongst the first-time voters, the party hopes to do well. However, it's a fairly daunting task because DMK plus is sitting at 50% plus vote share. So for BJP to win seats, it needs to make significant dent into DMK, and that we'll have to see. Perhaps the alliance between AIADMK and BJP would have been at a much better place to take on the DMK-led alliance.
But then the question is, why is Mr. Modi putting so much of his brand equity on the stake? It is very simple, that it is not about seats in this election. It's about what kind of vote share, because of his own personal presence and connection, BJP can garner. And that could be something in good double digit.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we talk about the BJP or the NDA-led alliance getting 20% or 25% vote share. BJP led an alliance in 2014 and it got 19% vote share. Of course, DMDK and MDMK are not part of that alliance now, so that has weakened. But OPS and with Dinakaran joining the alliance and with TMC Mupanar, I think that is a fairly easier number to achieve. And he is here for the long-term play, as you said, sir. And the party perhaps sees, like in any other state in India, the weakening of one of the two Dravidian parties to make an entry. And perhaps it sees that the AIADMK in a post-Jayalalitha era might weaken, which has not happened till date. And that is the hope which the party has for the future here.
Sam, I want to ask you something, which is maybe many a times we commentators look at things from the rear view mirror. And this time there could be a fatigue about a kind of Dravidian politics has been played out in so many decades. And Mr. Modi's focus has been only on one thing, that Dravid parties have undersold Tamil Nadu, Tamil Nadu's culture, Tamil Nadu's people, Tamil Nadu's language. And he is building a narrative on that. There could be many buyers for this narrative.
That's yet to be tested in that sense, because both the DMK and the AIADMK have committed loyal vote banks. No matter what kind of criticism the opposition may level, that's not going to change. But what perhaps Mr. Modi is targeting is the first-time voters or the apolitical voters, objective voters, a small percentage of them who decide on the basis of issues. So this kind of a thing, I'm not sure whether it will work, but it to be tested. But many would say, when Mr. Modi came to Tamil Nadu several times, possibly if he had committed on issues like NEET, something which is very close to people in Tamil Nadu, all political parties demand exemption from NEET, or perhaps even a token announcement in terms of relief for the flood-ravaged areas, be it Chennai or southern districts, that could have struck a chord. I think for some reason, the BJP is stuck to its position. It's not really relenting.
Yeah, I think Sam's hit the nail on the head. This cultural thing is not really what echoes with the electorate. I think what they should have done is they should have, certainly, even if the Prime Minister had not visited, some token relief. Mr. Stalin goes from meeting to meeting saying not one paisa has been given for flood relief. So that, that makes, it syncs with the people. Second, of course, is a simple thing, the All India Institute of Medical Sciences at Madurai, which, has been long delayed. Mr. Modi laid the foundation stone in 2019. We're now in 24, and the building work is just starting. So I think that these kind of things, essentially, had they focused on development, maybe big projects, a couple of big projects to the state. So the opposition, including the AIADMK now, goes to the people and asks what has been given to the state, unlike all the focus that's been on states like Gujarat. For instance, recently the semiconductor plant which should have come here has gone to Gujarat. So I think that there is that narrative which is much stronger than Sengol or Kashi Tamil Sangam or Kachativu even. So I think that they missed a trick. Even a token, as Sam said, even a token 200, 300 crore flood relief would have got the BJP more votes than all this cultural, stuff.
Do you agree with his analysis? Because one would argue that this anti-center or critical to center argument by DMK or AIADMK, whoever is in power at that time, is a rhetoric. And this has played out many a times. This doesn't work because the new aspiring India wants to hear a different language.
No, I would agree with both Sam and Sumanth on this because one thing is that the Prime Minister did not visit the state when it needed him most. During the floods, there were back-to-back floods in December. Perhaps the DMK thought that perhaps the BJP thought that the DMK would mishandle this flood situation and then that will work against them. But what they failed to see is if at all it works against the DMK, the vote might go to the AIADMK and not necessarily the BJP, or it could split. So that is where. Now, if you notice, the centre has come up with advertisements saying this is the amount that we have spent. A large number of it in the form of mudra loans or in the form of laying of rural roads, in the form of constructing toilets, houses for the poor and all those things. But Stalin has countered it with 7 questions. So he's asking the question like what Mr. Sumanth said, there's just one brick for an AIIMS hospital. Why is it so? So he's asking, why is it that our students have to write NEET? And NEET, I think, is seeking exemption from NEET is a very legitimate demand, not just by the DMK, but by the ADMK also. 230 MLAs or elected by the people have sought an exemption from NEET. And I think that is where the centre failed to notice it. And also they're asking that, why is it that we don't have hospitals? So they're asking one question after another, which has a greater level of resonance among the people than issues like anti-center. And then one other key factor that the DMK has been raising in this campaign is for every 1 rupee that the government spends on GST, that Tamil Nadu contributes to the GST central pool, only 29 paisa is returned. That is yet to be effectively countered by the BJP. So I think this narrative of Stalin works better than the Modi and the centre's other narrative.
Amitabh, there seems to be a Delhi, Mumbai and Chennai divide in the argument. I would still try to explore this angle about Mr. Modi's such a serious effort in Tamil Nadu. In the backdrop of this criticism, why he is still working so hard on Tamil Nadu?
I think if we have to go back to 2019 election, in that election, BJP had maxed out in the north of India. Do you know the highest number of rallies which Modi did after UP were which states? West Bengal, Odisha. And these two are the states where he reaped the benefits and won, I think, 20 plus additional seats. So this strategy worked in 2019 because he had this sense that we could lose a few seats and these need to be compensated. Now, again, the same issues there. BJP has maxed out in north and west. So it sees opportunities in east and south. And Prime Minister Modi sees an opportunity. So he has a good political knack. I mean, we can't deny this. And perhaps in his interactions with the people here and these events which have been carried out, he sees that there is an opportunity. And maybe due to my political capital being put on the ticket and my personal charisma, I will be able to get some seats. Of course, it's a long-term play. How many seats? 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. That's for all to see. But whatever BJP gets in terms of seats will be additional. And that is what will be the narrative post the elections. Because even if you get 4, 5, so that's a big achievement.
So what is BJP's best hope? That they get around 20% vote share and maybe 5 seats. They will be believing that they are successful.
Yeah. So I think if you look arithmetically, BJP hopes to make a dent in AIADMK vote. It hopes to make a dent in AIADMK vote through OPS or TTV or other factors because it's a national election. And it needs to make a dent in DMK vote. So the best case scenario for BJP is that even if it pulls almost 2/3 of AIADMK vote, which is difficult, fairly difficult, and 10% makes a dent of 10 percentage vote because of the anti-incumbency against the Stalin government in the India bloc vote share, then it can win up to 7 seats. But that's the maximum which it can go, which is the best case sort of a scenario, which we call in ours, it's optimistic case sort of a scenario.
In Maharashtra, even person like me who lives in Mumbai gets confused about 6 parties and remembering them becomes a problem. In Tamil Nadu, even though talking points are focused on certain individual parties and politics, but there are around 15 and 20 serious players. And another thing that we must discuss, the underlying communication about caste. I think there is a well thought out strategy to break this Dravidian citadel by BJP also, and they are trying to appeal to a large chunk of OBC voters. Is that right?
Yeah. So OBCs constitute around 68% population here. And this is one of the only states perhaps where the reservation ceiling has been breached long back. So Annamalai comes from the Gounder community, and there are one or two more like Thevars and Nadars, where the BJP through leaders has been able to make some sort of dent. It got 20% plus amongst these 2-3 communities in 2019. And OBC is the vote where BJP has flourished in the north or the western and the eastern zones. And perhaps it feels that since it's the OBC party today of rest of India, it could make some breakthrough here. And as you said, caste is fairly deep rooted here. We have in DMK perhaps 8 to 10 parties, in AIADMK block 3 to 5 parties, and in BJP 3 to 5. So 15 to 20 parties, and many parties like the DMDK, MDMK, PMK just represent one particular caste or community.
Okay. My final question to Sumanth, why is AIDMK is not in conversation at all?
I think that till about 2 months ago, you were right. The last 15 days, Mr. Edapadi has literally come storming back. And I think that this entire narrative of this election has to a large extent changed. Today, I would say in at least about 28, 29 constituencies, it is a DMK versus AIDMK fight. The BJP front, again, there are 2-3 issues. One, the alliance with the PMK is not working on the ground. PMK are the cadres themselves did not want, they wanted an alliance with the AIDMK. The leadership went with the BJP. Until the previous night, the AIDMK believed that the alliance had been sewn up. The next morning, the alliance was announced with the BJP. So that didn't go down very well. And similarly, the BJP's push, in terms of Mr. Annamalai's, many of his statements have been extremely abrasive. See, in Tamil Nadu, we have a kind of a political culture. The second rung and third rung leaders make extremely abrasive, crude, rude statements. But the top leadership will generally steer clear. Here, we've got the state president, making comments about almost just about everybody. And, let me tell you now, as Amitabh said, had Mr. Annamalai not broken the alliance, almost single-handedly, nobody else in the state leadership wanted the alliance to break. Nobody in the BJP high command wanted the alliance to break, which is why they kept saying our doors are open till 3 weeks ago.
And but it could be a calculated strategy also.
But my point is, had they not broken it, this time, with the amount of anti-incumbency we're seeing against the DMK government on the ground, the BJP, a potential BJP-AIDMK alliance could have ended up winning at least 15 seats, maybe even more. I think that's an opportunity that they perhaps will...
Actually, BJP has thrived many times on smaller local partners. This time, it has decided to aggressive or confident enough to go for a bigger bet, and that's why they are choosing the path they have chosen here. 19th April, first phase of Lok Sabha election polling, and Tamil Nadu's 39 seats go to poll in one go. So this will be most interesting day to watch. Of course, we won't know what voters have actually done while voting, but this will be speculated a lot. Why Mr. Modi has put so much equity on the table to win the hearts of Tamil Nadu, and that is one big answer people will be looking for. Even though BJP may not get many seats, but a serious vote share is their target, and we have to wait to see the real results. Thank you.